force to work on this issue and present it at the next event. And yeah, okay, all those, anyone like to second this motion? Ecuador, you wanted to say something about that? Is it about that point?
Yes,
Okay.
I just want to say that I second the
Oh,
motion.
okay, good. Thank you. Delegate of Ecuador seconds. All those in favor of adding that item already to our document, but then continuing our research into the topic of how to improve that situation for women on board. All those in favor, all those against? Opposed? Okay, I think it's unanimous. Thank you. There was one more point that did not come up, which also in the caucus over lunch I learned about, and that is about health, women in health. Actually, there are no.
Are we still in women in health or the women in decision making?
Yeah,
We have comments.
okay. We did actually talk about women in decision making. Didn't we jump to before?
Yes, we are in decision
We
making.
did before actually talk about women in decision making.
Oh, so we're moving on to health.
Yeah, we're talking, if you wanted to still add some, normally you can't because it's closed.
Okay.
But we will allow you, as you are such an
Okay.
active member of the delegation,
Thank
and you
you.
organize the whole event, as a matter of fact.
Uh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that very much, Madam Chair. The Philippine delegation would like to add a couple of words on the third bullet point on empower women in leadership and decision making. The third bullet point says address barriers that prevent women from accessing leadership opportunities, including cultural norms and structural biases. And we would like to add after structural biases and work life, work and family life balance. Triple the salary.
Okay, thank you.
Triple salary.
Okay, so we closed that. We actually maybe a footnote for now. But let's go to health because we were talking about mental health. Are there any items that we would want to add as a closing, before going into our call for action? Any items that we would want to add related to women in health? Any recommendations? Yeah? Japan? I told her. She doesn't have
Delegates from Japan, and we have conducted mental health education session to women, and particularly young women. And we emphasizing prenatal and postnatal care to ensure safe childbirth and early childhood well-being. So we'd like to emphasize both.
Thank you. Thank you, delegation of Japan. Could you maybe send that or bring that
Yes,
to the rapporteur so she gets the wording right? Yes, delegate of Ecuador?
Thank you, Your Excellency. As a representative delegate from Ecuador, I would like to add that there should be emphasis on my. I would like to add that there should be. Yes, it's not working.
Actually, we hear you well, actually.
Okay, there should be a emphasis on mindfulness, so that this way, people can have the ability to, have more mental health, and it also involves, it also makes you have the ability to be in peace.
Yeah. Excellent point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, anyone else about, something about health? Any recommendation that we would want to make? Actually, we're making also recommendations to our governments about health, like the work of, I know, I'm just waiting for more. Oh, South Africa, you have your hand up. Okay, yeah, please, you have the floor. Rachel, you want this one?
Thank you, Excellency. Essentially representing South Africa, I would like to make an addition on health in terms of expanding the reach or reaching out to undeserved communities, migrant communities who are often usually sidelined in terms of.
Can you speak a little bit louder, please? I think the microphone isn't so. Okay.
Is it working? Yeah.
Oh, it's working.
Okay.
Yes, I was saying that I would like to make an addition in particular about health to undeserved communities as well as migrant communities. Because where I come from, South Africa, it's a very diverse community and full of migrant people all around. And when it comes to health, they face a lot of challenges in terms of receiving health care.
Thank you. Is that actually a term, undeserved communities?
Underserved.
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 I thought maybe we better start by changing the wording.
Underserved communities.
Underserved, okay.
Marginalized.
And marginalized and underserved. Yeah, good, okay. Because again, we're creating our own new body so we can, all those things that we thought the government should have been doing, we can do actually. So I think, yes. Okay, a little bit louder, please.
Yes, sorry. On behalf of Taiwan, we'd like to request an additional point about reproductive rights, essentially amongst women, incorporating some ideology regarding the My Body, My Choice campaign, and exploring what it means to have bodily autonomy as a woman, and kind of advocating and being an advocate for other women in our space.
Okay. Thank you. I think that could be, maybe you could submit some documentation and we can look into that. It could be looked into for the next session. Any other thoughts? Any other issues? I mean,
mental health for women, there should be more resources, especially for women, because they nourish family and they should be more healthy minds, healthy brains, and healthy. They should have a good mental health to raise a good family and to make a good society. So, or healthy or constructive society. So I guess they need not they, they need more resources, special resources just for the women. Thank you.
maybe as I can speak not from as the chair, but from Switzerland. Also, I went to a meeting. I thought it was I think 50th anniversary meeting of that World Health Organization, and the focus was mental health actually. And the important point I think for us to understand is that it's not only that civil society understands that mental health prevention begins in the family, but actually the institutions, even the World Health Organization, they actually have come to absolutely believe that too. That really we cannot just leave solving those kind of situations to the institutions, but we have to invest in families to understand how they can identify signs as they occur, you know, and dealing with it. And that even as we know, sometimes it comes down to just placing that, creating a secure place, love, you know, all these kind of issues that who better than the family or those close can deal with those. So I would recommend that we could have maybe we could have a small caucus on this issue about mental health, and we could even get in touch with the World Health Organization to get some of their most recent, resources that actually now, after many years, point back to we've got to engage with women, we've got to engage with families, and we can't solve it ourselves. So maybe we can help some of the, and we can help the World Health Organization in that way. So
Madam Chair,
yes,
regarding mental health, I'm part of the mental health committee. So I would just like to add that we have to integrate mental health services into the primary health care. So we have to provide women with comprehensive health, not only physical and mental health, because we're composed of mind, body, and spirit. So body and mental should be part of our comprehensive health services that should be provided by our government, and women, all women should have access to that. Thank you, Madam President. Madam Chair.
okay. So before we close, do we have any kind of
Madam
final?
Chair, I want to add something if you allow.
Who's saying that? Yes.
So I want to add for this mental health of women,
Yes.
there should be more women in through media. There should be more women to educate women mental health through media or through media is the best source now, social media or otherwise, and raise awareness that how they can have information, how they can have help, and how they should proceed for better mental health or for prevention. So I guess we need more women to talk about this through media.
Good. Okay. That will be added. Uh, we're gonna close. We have to,
1 hour.
what? Really?
You're rushing through.
So we, anyway, I don't think it was, we could maybe, of course. So now would be the point where we would, take a vote on what we have decided, a vote of the whole, of the whole document and all the recommendations. And we can close also, I don't need to read it again. We did make so many changes, actually. I think everyone remembers. But, we can do that, and then we can, maybe I will read again the preamble and the call to action, and then we can take a vote. Huh? And then when we close that, ideally, we will vote in consensus. You know, of course, this is also not happening very much among governments, but ideally, we would have worked things out well enough so we could really come to an agreement. It's very powerful when we all agree actually on these points, even if you have to say a little bit less. So let's do that. And then if we still have some extra time, maybe we could have a few comments from the floor about this process and how we could use this kind of training maybe in other ways to stimulate our women at home to become more active with their governments so, okay, I will do that. And thank you to our rapporteur. Rapporteurs never get applause. But, thank you. Also, they never get hugged by the chair.
On the record.
Yeah. No, it will be in the record. Yeah. Okay, so let's okay. Yeah. It's actually I read. Okay. Okay, so this document, it's actually has to be a little bit adopted. We will finalize it. Also, you should send in your points that you made today. We will finalize it so before and then we will send it to all of you, so you have the final document and take it home with you. And, but it begins with the concluding recommendations, a global call to action for gender equality and sustainable development at the NGO Committee on the Status of Women, or maybe we should say Civil Society Committee on the Status of Women, 69. So the results of this NGO Advocacy 2025 survey underscore the diverse backgrounds, challenges, and aspirations of all of our global participants committed to advancing gender equality in line with the Beijing Platform for Action. While representation from a wide range of countries, including the United States, South Korea, Taiwan, Japan, Canada, Switzerland, Cote d'Ivoire, and there must be more. How many countries do we have?
17.
17. So those will be added. Engagement in critical areas such as education, health, violence against women, women's leadership, the workshop or the preparation highlighted successes and ongoing challenges in the field of women's empowerment. So while projects have been successful in fostering women's leadership, innovation, and confidence, persistent challenges remain in terms of resource mobilization, community engagement, institutional support, funding limitations, sustainable concerns, and organizational constraints continue to hinder progress. In addition, cultural diversity, limited awareness of programs, and structural barriers underscore the need for more inclusive and adaptable approaches. So this is really UN language. Actually, Lena did very well. Our rapporteur is excellent. And then we would go into our, how many sections do we have? 7. So we have 7 sections, and under those sections, there are 4 or 5 plus specific recommendations within each one. And then we will close with plan of action, a united commitment. As we move forward, it is imperative to strengthen advocacy efforts, engage with diverse stakeholders and institutional mechanisms that promote gender equality. This body and its partners will continue to support local initiatives, amplify the voices of marginalized communities, and assure that the commitments made in the Beijing Platform for Action are translated into concrete and sustainable results. That is the key point. Translated into concrete and sustainable results. By reshaping media's role, we can create a world where women are not just seen, but respected, valued, and given equal opportunities to thrive and contribute to a global world order. So, any final thoughts? I think even that could be worked on a little bit now, I think. But is everyone fine with the wording we have here? Can we call a vote?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So all those in favor of the adoption of this set of resolutions to be given to our governments in the name of this body, raise your cards. Okay. All those opposed? Okay. It's unanimous. So that's when we say either Manse or we throw our hats in the air or something.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
can I ask the delegates again to raise their cards? I'll take
Oh,
a
yeah,
picture.
Good idea. Good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, please, everybody raise your country's name for documentation. One more. Thank you.
Good. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
session again.
I think
Okay, how do we do this? Regions, okay, we have Asia, Pacific, Japan, Korea, and we have Europe, Vienna. I know Vienna prepared.
To Korea, yeah. Yeah. I
Who is ready?
I've sent in the confirmation side. Yeah.
Vienna is ready.
Yeah.
So Europe,
You're the one. I saw it.
may I call on Austria? This would be the UN Vienna, right? Yes. Okay, so let us welcome Maricel Rojas, representing the activities of Women's Federation UN office in Vienna.
I'm not going to Korea. You're not going to Korea.
Rachel,
I will. It's my first this year. I will go. I will go for the first. So you go to Korea, right? Yeah.
and then after
Yeah.
Vienna,
First time for my first.
we call
Did you get
on
the visa?
maybe
No,
Korea,
no. I will
and then
if I go back.
Japan
I will ask.
and Taiwan,
How long it takes?
and then Africa.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
You have right.
Yeah.
5-minute report.
Okay.
Because I know you have already prepared. You've answered those surveys. You know you have. You know you can present it and even more aligned with
Okay.
what you've learned from yesterday's presentation and today.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just 7 minutes maximum.
Okay.
And for
They take 2 weeks. But they will very yeah.
and for those I did not call and who have prepared the report, can you raise your hand if you would like to give report? Would Canada like to give a report? Not yet. Okay, you can be in the last while you're preparing. Maricel, are you ready? Rachel, I'm checking for you.
Because in the country is Wednesday on last week. This week, Wednesday, they go to deposit all document for all members we want to do. So me, I come here. So the embassy say they can take my yeah, because my passport is with me. So if I go back, they will pay for treatment, my visa. Are you know this? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She's the chief of staff of Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Yeah. She comes from Africa. She comes from Africa. She is the IDP. She is not member. Yeah. Yeah. Now? You're going to.
Just to clarify, your report would be your best practices from your region and your country. And you just have to align it to SDGs, and 12 critical areas of concern. You don't have to name the 12, whatever. For example, Women's Federation Korea, you have youth leadership training. You can align it to maybe 3 or 4 of the 12 critical areas of concern, or even 1 or 2. And for the SDGs, name, whatever SDGs that you feel that your project and programs are aligned to. Our Pacific was a region, for example. So if you want to represent the state or Jamaica, your region would be the Caribbean, Latin America. Um, yeah, but this is more on